All strongest sorcerers from each era in JJK, ranked and explained. Ryu Ishigori. Ryu Ishigori represents the peak of destructive output among Edo period sorcerers. His defining trait is not technique complexity, but raw firepower. Possessing the highest recorded cursed energy discharge in history, Ryu turns every blast into artillery-level devastation. Granite Blast functions less like a spell and more like a siege weapon, capable of tearing through reinforced opponents, flattening structures, and overpowering most direct defenses through sheer force. What makes Ryu terrifying is consistency. He does not need elaborate setups or environmental manipulation. Every exchange is a power contest, and few can match him in that category. Even elite modern fighters are forced into defensive positions when confronted with his output. However, Ryu ranks lowest on this list because his power is fundamentally linear. He overwhelms enemies in front of him, but he lacks conceptual hacks, battlefield-wide control, or reality-breaking mechanics. Against god-tier domains or space-warping attacks, brute force alone eventually hits a ceiling. He was the king of straight-up blasting, but not the ruler of history. Hajime Kashimo. Hajime Kashimo surpasses Ryu because he was built to kill other top-tier sorcerers. His cursed energy behaves like electricity, meaning every physical exchange carries lethal voltage that fries defenses from the inside. Close-range combat against Kashimo becomes suicidal, as every punch, grab, or weapon strike doubles as a high-voltage execution attempt. What elevates Kashimo further is his ultimate one-time transformation, a suicidal release of his full cursed energy nature that converts him into a living storm. In that state, his speed, power, and attack range spike to catastrophic levels, allowing him to challenge god-tier opponents head-on. Unlike Ryu, Kashimo is not limited to frontal blasting. His electricity spreads through contact, environment, and bodies, turning the battlefield itself into a hazard zone. He still ranks below the top two because his greatest power is temporary. His strongest form burns him out completely, making it a final gamble rather than a sustainable state of dominance. Kashimo was an apex predator, but the next two were extinction level. Satoru Gojo. Satoru Gojo stands as the uncontested ceiling of modern sorcery. Limitless combined with the six eyes gives him total spatial dominance. Infinity prevents contact entirely. Blue and red warp physics. Hollow purple deletes matter. And unlimited void shuts down the mind itself. What makes Gojo historically terrifying is how completely he invalidates traditional combat logic. Numbers do not work against him. Preparation rarely matters. Even special-grade disasters fall in seconds. Entire villain strategies revolve around sealing him rather than challenging him directly. Gojo does not merely win fights. He removes the possibility of fair fights. However, he still operates within the laws of cursed techniques. Infinity can be bypassed through specialized mechanics. Domains can clash. Spatial rules can be overwritten under extreme circumstances. He was the strongest man of his era, but not the strongest thing the world had ever produced. Ryomen Sukuna. Heian era calamity. Ryomen Sukuna stands above every era as the absolute apex of jujutsu combat. In the Heian period, the golden age of sorcery, he annihilated armies of elite fighters and survived every attempt at extermination. His mastery of cursed energy, barrierless domain expansion, adaptive slashing techniques, and later world-cutting attacks elevate him beyond conventional power scaling. Malevolent Shrine converts entire districts into slaughter zones. Cleave automatically adjusts to enemy durability. Dismantle shreds terrain. World-cutting slashes bypass space itself. Reverse cursed technique allows him to continue fighting after damage that would kill anyone else. Where Gojo represents perfection within the system, Sukuna represents evolution beyond it. He refines techniques mid-battle. He learns opponent mechanics. He upgrades himself in real time. Across centuries, no sorcerer has matched his combination of lethality, creativity, scale, and inevitability. He is not remembered as the strongest of his age. He is remembered as the standard by which all ages are judged.